MD of Electrical Department for 5 years, Dean Academics for 3 years, Dean Quality Assurance for 3 years, Chairman for PG Admissions for 3 years. He has worked on several committees formed by Pune University, Shivaji University, Dr. BAMU, Dr. BAT University for faculty selection, local inquiry, continuation of programs, and other tasks. At university level, he has been member board of studies of various universities like Pune University, North Maharashtra University, etc. He has worked as member, finance committee, member, academic council at Dr. BAT University. He worked on several committees formed by state government, DTE, AICTE for various tasks and projects such as TechWeb, Technological University Formation in Maharashtra, Key Performance Indicators for the Institutes in Maharashtra, CR Format for Teachers, Institute Gradation Policy for the State, Autonomy Committee, High-Level Inquiry Committee constituted by Chancellor, etc. in last 10 years. Sir is approved PhD guide. He has total 73 publications, 5 patents, and 7 sponsored R&D projects worth of 603 lakhs. He has carried out 10 noteworthy industrial testing and consulting assignments with clients like Emerson, Stanford Generators, Bosch, MSc DCL, etc. He was engaged in establishment of Center of Excellence in Smart Renewable Energy Systems at COEP in association with 5 industries. He is recipient of prestigious awards like Cognizant Best Faculty Award 2013-14, Teaching Excellence Award instituted by the Indus Foundation and AP Government in 2013, LinkedIn Innovation Award in 2012, Fellowship of IEEE PES Society to attend PES Winter Meeting. Sir is board ranker, university ranker, and recipient of National Merit Scholarship till graduation. Sir has delivered various expert lectures at R&D establishment and worked in various MBA teams to grade other institutes. Sir has worked on interview, promotion panel for DRDO, R&D, ITM, and many institutions. Sir, I welcome you to this session with a virtual bouquet. I once again request the participants to take an active participation in this session and make the session interactive. Any query or doubt can be posted on chat. Sir will be really happy to answer the queries. I now hand over to Chaudhary sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sakina madam. At first, let me thank Prashant for coordinating this workshop, convening this workshop, which is important. Though there are several workshops being carried out and on outcome-based education at various places, a workshop focused to the curriculum design and issues of implementation and solutions is in need of an hour, because we as a technical education system, we are implementing outcome-based education. We all are learning, whether it is MBA, whether it is institute management, faculty, we all are learning, gearing up towards a fruitful or meaningful implementation of outcome-based education. The journey started 10 years back. We started talking about outcome-based education somewhere in 2009, 8, 10 to 12 years back. And I feel today, after 10, 12 years, we are at a reasonable position. I mean, we started understanding this outcome-based education. And days to come, we shall have better understanding and better implementation of this outcome-based education. Let me with this let me start my presentation. Before that, again let me congratulate first Prashant and his team for organizing this FDP, and thank you Sakina for your introduction, but it has made me uncomfortable. I don't know from where you have got these many details. Uh, Actually, I haven't responded to your mail and I haven't sent you, but I think you have picked up some document. Anyway, uh, mm, uh, let me share my presentation. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And is my
Yes, sir. Yes.
presentation visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, friends, we today the focus of my topic is design of curriculum in the light of outcome-based education. And in my perception, design of curriculum in light of new national education policy we had. This new education policy, which is being discussed almost on all platforms dealing with the education, all seminars, FTPs, and workshops at national level. There are special workshops being arranged by MHRD, AICTE, UGC, universities, different leading institutions. People are talking about NEP. In my view, national education policy focuses on development of a sensitive global citizen, a learned fellow, a gentleman, and there are. I mean, what is a learned fellow? What is a globally sensitive citizen? And OBE also aims at development of an overall personality, right? A sensitive citizen, a contributing engineer, if it is for engineering education in relation with the engineering education. So many things in many angle, the final objective, final outcome, final target of NEP and outcome-based education is same. Development of all-rounded personality, a socially sensitive personality, a responsible personality is the perhaps the aim of outcome-based education as well as national education policy. Of course, related with us one specific domain, say engineering, right? So I will discuss how this can be achieved through a thoughtful curriculum design. Friends, so far we have learned yesterday. I have also attended your session of my ex-colleague, Professor Sutode. And we have seen any design. The OBE design is from top to bottom. We set out a vision and mission. We articulate mission of the institute, vision and mission of the department. Department might be offering several programs. Then we have specific objectives for designing a program. We put in the form of program education objectives or program specific objectives. Then we define the program outcomes, which is globally decided in that Washington Accord. Those graduate attributes, now in India we call it as a program outcomes, 12 program outcomes. I mean, it commonly people countries together have decided what must be the attributes of graduate engineer. we started talking it as a graduate attributes, sorry, program outcome. And perhaps in short time we will talk it, uh, this phrase will also change. I will shortly come to that. And then you need to design a curriculum, and then curriculum design is an outcome of the above. You have some vision, mission, and then you have program education objectives, and you have some program outcomes to be achieved. For that we design the curriculum, and curriculum has several courses. Each course has a purpose, and we have a course outcomes for this. So this is an OBE design, right? 8, 10, 12 years back, I had a confusion. And many people, many academic, many teachers used to have this confusion, what this will achieve in our society. Because in our society, largely the education is under the umbrella of universities. Say, take an example of Karnataka. You have most of the colleges affiliated to VTU. Take the case of Uttar Pradesh. You have most of the colleges affiliated to GPTU, or now it is Abdul Kalam Technical University. And name a state, all states have technical universities and technical colleges, engineering colleges, technical institutions in those states are attached to those universities. Statistically, 90% of our education is the university affiliated education, and I used to wonder how can we give justice to this outcome based education in this affiliated model of education, where institutions do not have any freedom of admitting the students, they do not have freedom of designing the curriculum, they do not have freedom of evaluating and assessment. That those were the concerns of many of us. We were confused, and we felt at that time this will lead to rather a ritual ritual, and the implementation process would be rather mechanical. And it so happened as well. Thanks to the NBA and thanks to the AICTE, which has given me an opportunity to visit several institutions across the country. And I have observed that at many places, when I shared, when we used to, in our discussions, when I used to discuss this with the faculty or management of those institutions, people informally agreed that yes, it has become a very mechanical process. It is a rather time consuming, statistics driven, lot of paperwork, and somewhere that crux, that beauty of that outcome based education is lost. And that has been our experience. And however, there is a silver line. There are many colleges coming forward to become autonomous, and autonomous colleges do provide such hope, because autonomous colleges have enjoyed autonomy of designing the curriculum and implementing the curriculum. And we have witnessed that in the COVID, while most of the university affiliated colleges are engaged, need to run the policies decided by the universities, autonomous colleges have gone ahead, and they have aggressively completed the academic semesters and also the evaluation. We are experiencing that. So that freedom which autonomy gives, academic autonomy gives to an institution, perhaps helps such institutions to implement outcome-based education in a better perspective, because curriculum design and assessment and evaluation is institute decides, and I sincerely feel that this plays an important role in a OBE implementation. Friends, we say that in our society, mostly our apex institutions are IITs, right? And few NITs and ISERs, these are the pride to us. These are national prides, and they enjoy this freedom from the birth. I mean, every IIT, every NIT, every ISER, every central funded institution has got this freedom, and this freedom, I mean, this academic freedom is helping these institutions to prosper. So I sincerely feel, for a true implementation of an outcome-based education, is autonomy, academic autonomy is one of the necessary ingredient. Then one of the it is very essential to be an autonomous, because then only one can target the curriculum, and one can have a curriculum design with reference to a specific program specific objective for that program. Though the design of an outcome-based education is top to bottom, the implementation of OBE is obvious. It is bottom to top. We look at, we as a teachers take different courses, and every course has certain outcomes. So we periodically check attainment of our course outcomes. From program outcomes, we have correlation between course outcomes and program outcomes. So from attainment of course outcomes, we arrive at attainment of program outcomes, as well as we arrive at attainment of program specific outcomes and program education objectives. So this is how we implement the OBE, right? Yesterday you have had seen institutions exist because they do have definite vision and definite mission. Why Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan exists? Because Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan has a definite vision, and therefore it exists, right? And why it has started several campuses, why it has started in engineering institutions only in Mumbai, right? There are, your existence has got a purpose, right? So every institution has got should have a vision and mission, and by now we all are habitual to these terms. I remember at College of Engineering Pune, when first we wrote first vision and mission of the institution, it was somewhere 2003. It was rather a formality to be completed. We wrote that vision and mission because that was a prerequisite or precondition for applying to the TechUp grants. And I still remember how we have seen vision mission of few institutions, and just tried to read vision mission of few institution, copied few words here and there, and in 2-3 days our vision missions statements were ready. We 4-5 people sat together and made a vision mission, right? But shortly we learn the importance of vision mission, and then Professor Sutoni yesterday told you how rigorous exercise we executed somewhere in once in 8-9, and again second time in 15-16. Our third iteration took us almost 16 months, and more than 5,000 people were involved. So vision is must for institution, and you need to involve all the people, right from your students to your board member, while articulating your vision mission. For faculty, it's perception. Faculty is very important, and perception of faculty should is to be considered while articulating this vision and mission. And then yesterday you had, though you have studied, you already, Professor Tone has talked on this. Let me just spend a few minutes on citing you examples again. See, what is the vision statement of MIT to make a word, to make a better word through education, research, and innovation, right? And the mission is to advance knowledge and educate students in science, technology, and other areas scholarship that will best serve the nation and the world in the 21st century, right? Look at the Stanford University mission statement. It talks about solving real world problems and prepare a student to contribute to the world, right? So MIT and Stanford, look at those visions. I mean, what MIT talks about making a better world through newer and newer technologies, right? Look at the vision of IIT Bombay or IIT Delhi. It also talks about, but the reach of this statement is something different than the reach of MIT and Stanford. The vision mission statements of MIT Stanford indicate something different than the vision mission of IIT Bombay and IIT Delhi, right? See, IIT Kanpur, to attain international education positions. So they are more bothered. I mean, their position among the top 20 institutions globally in 20 years, right? So they have given a time span, as well as ranking is important for IIT Kanpur, right? Whereas solving the world's problem, right? Serving the 21st century, this is a language used by Stanford and MIT, right? Look at IIT Kharagpur region. To be a center of excellence, to be a hub of knowledge creation, and to improve the life of every citizen of the country. So IIT Kharagpur is focusing on solving the country's problems, society's problem, right? They don't talk about solving the global issues. They don't talk much about advancing the technology, taking word to the different level, innovating the new domains of knowledge, right? Which, so from these different statements, we can understand that institute very carefully write down this vision and mission statement and spell out what they are targeting at. Similarly, when institute starts certain program, it has got program education objectives and program specific outcomes. In a actual outcome based education or ABET education, this program education objective is very important, which describes the career and professional accomplishment that the program is preparing a graduate to achieve. Normally, POs are to be measured 4 or 5 years after the graduation. For some reason, we have stopped looking at the attainment of POs. We have instead said that POs are difficult. Attainment of POs is difficult to measure. in India, and that's why we have started looking at a program specific outcomes. Now, why it is difficult to measure program education objectives? Number one, we are too lazy in maintaining the keeping the records or keeping the links. I mean, hardly I have come across the institution which has a sound contact, sound linkage with its alumni, right? Go to the college, you ask how many graduates you have graduated in last 5 years and what they are doing. Hardly few colleges can provide this data. Number one, this is our problem number one. Problem number two, the job market is such that most of the jobs are going in IT, finance, and those sectors, and that's why it's. I mean, if I have produced if an institution has produced an electrical or mechanical engineer, and that fellow is working in the bank, then how can you get attainment of your PO, because many times that mismatch is happening. For employability, the employment scenario is such that you are graduating in one domain and doing job in the other domain, and in such a case it becomes irrelevant to look at a program education objective, right? And we know how squeeze is this scenario in our society, right? And therefore, perhaps the NBA has said, okay, let us not look at attainment of program education objectives. Instead, we started talking about program specific outcomes, which can be tested, which can be evaluated at the end of 4 years of a graduation. So what program specific outcomes? These are the statements that describe what the graduate of a specific engineering program should be able to do at the time of graduation. Peers can be measured through surveys, peers can be measured through feedbacks, PSO can be also measured through their linkages with the COs. And today I mean, NBA looks at attainment of PSO and PO's attainment is not required. Nonetheless, I honestly feel that PO's attainment of POs is the crux of outcome-based education, because that is what is a customer's feedback. Industry as a customer, right? Society as a customer. What that industry feels, what is industry's perception about your graduate is the important, and that is the most vital feedback. And perhaps in days to come we shall revisit that, and I am hopeful that we will again start that process of attainment of program education objective in short time, right? And POs and COs, I won't spell, you all know POs and COs. Let me take you some examples of program education objectives. Now look at program education objectives of E and CS program in USA, right? Graduates will approach new problem, whether these problems involve engineering, management, medicine, education, law, and or the creative arts. See, it is a BTech in E and CS, electrical engineering and computer science. That is a single degree at MIT. Very interestingly, MIT still does not have a computer science engineering department. And CS program is offered under the umbrella of electrical engineering department. Its department is, the title is Department of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. So what they define? The graduates approach new problem, their POs. Graduates will approach new problems, whether these problems involve engineering, management, medicine, education, law, or the creative arts. Graduates will make their mark on the world, right? They will be effective leaders and they will be thoughtful contributors to society. The tone, the pitch of this statement is very different. They are expecting their graduates to make their mark on the world, right? So POs of MIT spell something very unique, and then they will approach new problem irrespective of the domain of problem. Problems could be of medicine, law, but still they believe their electrical engineers and CS, their electrical and CS BTechs will solve those problems, right? So very different. Look at the PO of University of Michigan for the same program. Achieve professional growth, success in advanced engineering studies, and they will have impactful achievement. So Michigan is thinking has spelled out, and their expectation from their BTech electrical engineering are different. BS electrical engineers are different than the expectation of MIT, right? Look at the POs of electrical engineering at University of Colorado Boulder. Graduates will be situated in growing areas involving the design, development of support of electrical systems, device, successful pursuing an or will be successfully pursuing an advanced degree. So they wish to their engineers to be, their graduates to be a successful employees or go for higher studies. They wish their graduates to be a progressive professionals, and they wish that graduates will demonstrate professional and personal leadership and growth. Now the graduates of University of Colorado is thinking different, right? This University of Michigan is thinking different, whereas MIT is thinking different. Their targets are different, right? POs are different, and hence their strategies, hence their curriculum has to be different, right? Now, when MIT says that they will make mark on the world and they will approach the new problems, necessary that they must have on their campus the world-class professionals in the respective domain. And that's why there are dozens of Nobel laureates as faculty in MIT premises, because their aims are very high. They look at different things. Then look at program outcomes. See, as I said, different countries together decided what must be the outcomes or attributes of a engineering graduates, and those attributes are called as program outcomes, and NBA has defined 12 program outcomes: engineering knowledge, problem analysis, design and development of solutions, conduct investigation of complex problem, modern tool usage, engineer and society, environment and sustainability, ethics, individual and teamwork, communication, project management and finance, lifelong learning. Some of these, very interestingly, out of these 12, only 5 which are in red color are related with the cognitive domain. I mean, they talk about the intellectual skills and they say area, maybe perhaps area of study, right? Say if it is electrical engineering program, mostly these five will relate with the electrical engineering program, right? Engineering knowledge, problem analysis, design of solution, conduct investigation problem, and modern tool usage. These all relate with the specific engineering program. Whereas the remaining four, remaining uh, remaining seven uh, are mostly related with affective domain, right? So first five are professional skills or professional expertise, whereas these remaining seven are about the life skills, about the soft skills, about the maybe a psychomotor as well as affective domain, right? It's mainly your sensitivity to environment and all, right? How sensitive you are to the word issues. These all I mean, communication. How 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 much respect you give to the others' views? Are you a good listener? Can you work in teams? Can you work in a cross cultural, cross domain teams? Right. So these mostly relate with the affective domain, which I mean behavioral skills or the life attitudinal skills of a person, right? In individual and teamwork, communication. Whereas project management, finance management, these are professional skills. Lifelong learning is an attitudinal or behavioral issue, right? So if we look at our ethics is an attitudinal thing. So if we look at our program outcomes, five, six, we can relate five, six outcomes with the intellectual skills that is in cognitive domain, whereas remaining five skills are mostly the behavioral skills or attitudinal skills. We must carefully observe that. We must observe that out of these five technical program outcomes, four are related with the complex engineering problems. See, every statement, that's why I have bold, I have made it in different color. Look at everywhere what is said, engineering knowledge, apply the knowledge to the solution of complex engineering problem. Design solution for complex engineering problem. Conduct investigation of complex engineering problem. Now, many people, there is a common perception among teachers or faculty is that it is difficult. I mean, while attainment of five cognitions of five POs, which are technical, which are uh, related with intellectual skills, is easier, the attainment of those soft program outcomes, which mainly talk about behavioral skills or attitudinal skills, appear to be difficult, right? It's true. But I sincerely feel that even those attainment of five program outcomes in its letter and spirit, which talk about cognitive domain, is also challenging, because those program outcomes truly spell they are related, they are centered around, they revolve around a complex engineering activities. And our understanding of complex engineering activity perhaps is missing, right? And perhaps we need to learn this, and we need to focus more efforts towards the true understanding of complex engineering problem, and start implementing it so as to get true fruits of this outcome-based education. So it is commonly accepted that those seven soft skills, soft POs are easy to achieve and are difficult to achieve, are difficult to evaluate, assess, whereas the first five are easy to assess because they are related with professional. I have slight different opinion. Rather, I feel these seven are not very. These seven are qualitative in nature, and its attainment uh, can be assessed qualitatively, whereas those attainment of first five assessment of attainment of first five PO is quite challenging because of that phrase of complex engineering problem appearing in four POs out of five. Uh, while we are getting familiar with the program outcomes and trying to and learning and building on our experiences, the ABET itself has changed the program outcomes and it has changed it to the students outcomes. And instead of, so ABET had 11 graduate attributes. From that we had defined 12 program outcomes, but now ABET from last 2 years have taken out those graduate attributes from their document and they have started defining the student outcomes. And now they have 7 students outcome. Out of 7 student outcome, there are 5 outcomes, right? 5 outcomes which are related. Sorry, 4 outcomes which are related about intellectual skills or cognitive domain, whereas 3 outcomes are related with the affective domain, right? These are affective domains. So a new criteria of ABET, and I believe shortly, shortly NBA will also adopt to this format and NBA formats are also evolving, and in days to come we shall witness that program outcomes are now will be replaced by the student outcomes, which is more meaningful term rather than which is more meaningful than POs. I mean, what would be student outcomes? Now, in terms of POs of electrical engineering, we have discussed the POs of electrical engineering. The POs of MIT, same program at MIT are like this. So what they did, whatever ABET has said, ABET has given 7 outcomes, they have also copied those and defined. So MIT felt that no need to have different POs, but the same institution, different program, say POs of mechanical engineering at MIT USA, they felt it differently and they have defined 9 POs. So that notion that number of POs should be this much and one should not change is not true. I mean, institutions have freedom to articulate their program outcome in their own way. Only one thing should be seen, that whatever ABET has given or whatever MBA has given must be will be treated as a common minimum program. You can add to that, you can have your language, you can have your wording and flavor your flavor. Say for example, the POs program outcomes or COs for mechanical engineering are flavored with have the flavor of this mechanical engineering. See, they are talking about complex engineering problem by applying fundamental principle of mechanical engineering. Implement computer and simulation tools in mechanical engineering practice, whereas right? Whereas so so they have used their own language, right? uh, for articulating these program outcomes. Why I'm sharing with sharing these different examples, just to give a example, give a message that program outcomes need not be just a copy of statements given by the NBA. We should cover all the program outcomes defined by NBA, but we have still a freedom to articulate the statements in our own way to give a specific flavor to the program. Otherwise, what is the point in repeating those 12 statements for all the programs of the institution? Whether say whether it is a metallurgy program, whether it is a textile program, or whether it is a data science or computer science program. If the program outcomes are same, shortly, uh, it becomes meaningless then. Uh, Meaningless. So I personally feel that program outcomes should have some flavor of that specific program as well. No doubt, it should cover all all graduate attributes or all POs spelled out by the NBA or your accreditation agency, maybe a bit as well. So let us. What is the learning from this? Why I have shared you vision mission of IITs and Stanford, MIT, vision mission of, and then POs of the three different same program of three different institutions, right? Because every program is independent. I mean, it's your journey, right? Your context could be different. Your mission, vision, and values will be defined by your own dream, and you may have different strength to play upon, right? Same undergraduate program exists. BTech Electrical exists in IIT Bombay. BTech Electrical exists at College of Engineering Pune, or BTech Electrical exists at, say, Government Engineering College at Amravati. But contexts are different. And vision, mission, and values will be defined by your own dreams. So while articulating this program at IIT Bombay, they have different. IIT Bombay has different dream where their electrical engineers will go, will reach. College of Engineering Pune has different dreams, and Government Engineering College at Amravati, or some private college, say at College of Engineering at Badnera, has a different dreams, and you have different strength to play upon. Contexts are different, and we have such a wide variety. We have one side campuses, say 800 acres, IIT Guwahati 800 acres, IIT Kharagpur 2100 acres at a single place. And then we have institutions in Mumbai where institutions are within 1 acre, 40,000 square foot. One side few thousand acres, another side few thousand square feet. Right? A single building is an institution. Single building, say S.P.I.T, single building is an institution. Right? So and then look at the BITS campuses at Goa or Hyderabad and something. You have different, altogether very vibrating life. You have swimming pools, you have dance floors, you have big canteens and playground, you have separate cricket stadium, football stadium. And so facilities, infrastructure, strengths will be different. Sitting in Mumbai, we are surrounded with experts in all domains. Bandra Kurla complex is is a 20 minutes taxi drive, or airport is a 30 minutes taxi drive. Whereas if you are sitting at IIT Ropar or IIT Mandi, I mean, travel itself becomes a challenge. And which industry, I mean, approaching industry is a challenge. So different institutions have different strengths. Different institutions have different dreams, right? And our contexts are different. And we are blessed placed to find our own solution because our challenges could be unique, right? Naturally, so we must carefully look at all these things and set our own programming, set our own dreams. In short, set our own program education objectives, right? Because those are defining what your graduates will do. That is dream for us. So looking at all our contexts, all our problems, all our strength, we should carefully design what are our dreams, and then once we design our dreams, we should honestly design a curriculum for that. And hence now my remaining part, I will focus on curriculum design. Once your dreams are fixed, once the target is fixed, logically the curriculum be designed so as to reach, so which may enable you to fulfill those dreams. So curriculum is an outcome of your program education objectives and POs. You have defined what your graduates will do. You have defined what your graduates will be able to do. Accordingly, you need to design curriculum. NEP also says like that. They have dreamed what a higher education, what should be the output of higher education, what graduate should have, what thought process a graduate should have, what should be the attributes of a higher educated person in the society. They have looked at what words talks about, what are words expectation. So NEP has, if you read the NEP has discussed this word requirements, word expectation of graduates, and then it has spelled out the policies, the recommendation for higher education system. So first you dream, and then follows the strategy, and then follows the actual curriculum design and all, right? So whether it is OBE, whether it is national education policy implementation, after fixing our own dreams, we need to design the curriculum, right? And we have seen curriculum, I mean, the expectations, the word expectations are, I mean, people have expectation in cognitive as well as affective domain, and we know, so we know how much weightage we give to the affective domain thing. So my observation on this background, I have visited almost 25 different colleges for for accreditation, plus maybe dozen other for other purposes. And knowing this, almost 40 colleges at different corners of the country, my observation is that at many places curriculum is too heavy. At least this was the scenario 3 years back, before AICTE announced its new curriculum of 160 credit. But prior to that, even AICTE's curriculum was 176 credit. And in most of the places, it was 180, 190. I know few southern colleges where the curriculum was 200 credit plus. Even VTU had a norm, your VTU's curriculum in Karnataka was 200 credits. More than 95% curriculum address only first 5 PUs. Though there are 12 outcomes, 90% of our curriculum is centered around only first 5. Remaining 10% maybe curriculum addresses next 7 program outcomes. The focus of curriculum on soft life skill, behavioral skills, or those attitudinal skills is very low. And perhaps we are not looking at credit definition critically. And that's why we have 200, 190, 180 credit curriculum. Are we looking at global expectation from 21st century engineers seriously? These are my observations after visiting 40, around almost 40 institutions in the country for different purposes, which also include centrally funded institutions, government institutions, private universities, private institutions. What is one credit? Normally in US, 48 hours work is taken as 1 credit, and they have 15 to 16 credits per semester, which boils down to around 675 hours of work per semester. In Australia, Italy, Spain also it is 750 hours per semester. In China, it is 800 hours. In Russia also, like US, Russia and Japan, both they have 675 hours per semester, right? In India, we have 22 to 24 credit. We almost have 26 to 30 hours of teaching, right? And 14 to 14 weeks semester plus 2 weeks maybe in exam. So we have understanding of credit. For us, normally credit is 1 hour of teaching and 2 hours of practical. So I feel our definition of credit is teacher centric. We look at load in terms of a academic engagement of a teacher or a load to a teacher. We don't look at what work is assigned to the students, right? Mostly in other countries, it is the work to the learner, right? 50 hours, almost 48 hours work per semester is a 1 semester credit hour, right? So earning credit means if student has put around 48 hours work in a semester, he earns a credit, right? Now, what is problem with our academics? If you look at 4-year program, mostly it is of 6,000 hours. Now, if you divide it into 8, for every semester we have 750 hours. Now, typically, if you have number of weeks in a semester, including exam 16, per week work is around 47 hours, right? And if we teach them 30 hours, many colleges I have seen the timetable starts at Monday 8 a.m. and ends at Saturday, and the academic load is 32 hours, right? So some colleges 28, 30 hours. Let us say average we have 28 hours academic engagement to a student every week. Now what remains? He has hardly 20 hours to study. I don't think any student can put more than 50 hours per week. So self-study component becomes low. We teach them, we engage them for many hours, more hours. So for every 1 hour of teaching, only 40 minutes of self-study is expected in India. Whereas in developed countries, for 1 hour of teaching, minimum 120 minutes of self-study is expected. So in US, when there are only 15 credits per semester, so academic engagement at the institute is only 15-16 hours, but the homework and assignments do take care of engaging them another 25 to 30 hours at home, right? Learning by doing, self-learning. These and that's why the assignment levels, and that's why the outcomes of graduates come out different. So we need to shift from this teacher-centric model to a student-centered model and start defining credit in terms of the actual engagement of a student rather than that shallow definition of 1 hour equals to 1 credit for theory and 1 hour, 2 hours equals to 1 credit for practical, right? Uh, Rather, we should look at the engagement of a student, right? And we should try to put more time. We should design, while designing the curriculum, we should see that our students also are engaged more in self-study, right? Because for the 21st century, only one attribute of graduate will be sufficient to survive, right? Ability to learn, learning to learn, right? There is this one skill is going to be sufficient, right? Learning to learn, the only skill required to survive in the 21st century is skill of learning the new skill, or learning to learn. See, as per Peter Drucker, the skill of learning new skill is the only skill required to survive in the 21st century, and that necessitates we stop our old practice of doing too much engagement in classroom. Rather rather adopt a flip model and expect more engagement at the more self engagement, say more self study, and that will come with the assignments, group studies, mini projects, and several other ways. We must not forget, this we already decided. Now, what is 21st century engineer? Different surveys. There are several surveys done by engineers, academicians, and professionals in society, and they have listed out almost these 15 features of a 21st century engineer. And you will see that there are only 4 or 5, and the most important feature is the learnability, learning to learn. Therefore, our curriculum, our assessment, as our evaluation should be in the similar, should also target in developing this ability of learning to learn. And you look at the other skills, this ability, creativity and innovation, global outlook, commitment for social. So whether it is POs, whether it is student outcome, whether it is attributes of 21st century engineer, the message is profound, the message is bold, loud. It is clear that um, besides intellectual skills, besides cognitive domain, one should also take care of affective domain equally, so as to make a meaningful graduate or meaningful engineer. That is the message of all these studies, right? And while articulating the syllabus, we must also take care of this affective domain development. Observations: only 5 program outcomes are related with technical competencies. I have spelled it out. The complex engineering problem, understanding of complex engineering problem is extremely rare, right? See, it is understanding of complex is extremely rare, and the professional outcomes or those affirmative domain, affective domain uh, requirement, we agree कि it is desirable, but design of curriculum of do not reflect their importance adequately. And anyhow, we have strong belief that we strongly believe that unless we teach, student will not learn. These are my observation. As a faculty, we always feel that unless I teach, how the student is going to learn, right? And we do not have enough space for development of professional outcomes or behavioral skills or attitudinal skills. These are the observations. And uh, then at SPIT, we had taken an exercise. We had compared different institutions, how many science courses, how many engineering courses, how many program cover, what is the percentage of program cover and humanities courses, right? This is the interesting survey. We shall share with you this survey. All we have taken few NITs, few IITs, few triple IITs, few private universities, and we have compared our own curriculum, and also we have taken AICTE model curriculum, right? Fortunately, I had an opportunity to work in AICTE model curriculum. I was part of team for articulating the electrical engineering curriculum at AICTE. And we have observed a wild variation, particularly look at the humanities courses. See, uh, humanities courses. Both the Georgia Tech and University of California both have high percentage of humanities, whereas in our things also IITs do have good percentage of humanities, but elsewhere the humanities courses are low. Particularly many humanities courses address the affective domain. So so Georgia as well as University of California do take care of this affective domain in their curriculum, right? Similarly, open electives and other courses. So this is just a comparison I wish to share with you. So how do we address the program outcomes? So I have referred, for me, even attending these 5 program outcomes, which are of cognitive domain itself, is challenging if you target its implementation, its attainment in the spirit. Now, what is complex engineering problem? Complex engineering problem is not an end of chapter problem, right? They involve conflicting technical, engineering, social, and other issues. They do not have obvious solutions. They do not have open-ended solutions. They have part and subsystems. Whereas, if you look at our practice, if we put some problem in the examination, we correlate that problem with this PO, right? Immediately we correlate it with some Bloom's taxonomy layer, and we correlate that problem to this PO. So a counter design for us becomes a complex problem, and then we say it is a design, and that's why it is complex. But that is not true. I mean, if we understand what is complex engineering problem, we will understand that realization of 4th, 5th, and 6th level of Bloom is too challenging. In fact, it is not possible through our regular examination, and we need to adopt different ways if we at all try to address or reach those Bloom's level, right? Putting some simple problems, then indicating that this problem is put some induction motor design problem and say that it is a creation problem. It is addressing to the sixth layer. This is the perhaps will make the OBE implementation meaningless. So we need to deeply understand, we need to understand this concept of complex engineering problem and honestly try to pursue the Bloom's taxonomy's upper layer. Understanding this complex engineering problem will lead to the true implementation of outcome-based education. Then only we will be able to enjoy its true benefits. Now, for example, apply the knowledge, first PO, apply the knowledge. So majority of this PO we can address through our normal question papers. Somewhat we can address in end of chapter problems, unsolved problems definitely can be correlated with this PO, right? Problem analysis. Mostly the engineering problems do not touch this, right? Assessment through limited time examination is not possible. Most of the programs do not have the courses to address this. And project specific assignments may address this outcome. So, while we focus our attainment only towards examination, I sincerely feel many of the POs we should focus towards the assignment, and those assignments should be carefully chosen so as to have meaningful attainment of those program outcomes, right? Because there are many POs which cannot be tested in a limited time examination or those multi-choice question type test, right? For example, what activities can be performed for problem analysis? Identify the complex problem, make assumption, specify the hardware, software, product processes necessary to solve the problem, elaborate the case study, because such problem may not be solved in a limited time, right? Say design a all-terrain vehicle is a complex engineering problem. Design a two-wheeler to bike for different parts of the country, right? Is a complex engineering problem. E-bike, say for example, all the automotive industries today are engaged in designing the e-vehicles. So designing a e-bike may be suitable for hilly areas, may be suitable for rural areas, is a complex engineering problem because it has several systems and subsystems, and several issues need to be understood by designers. One should look at the motor, drive, the battery, energy transfer between different energy transfer, charging, right? The road requirement, the load requirement, the road conditions, right? Vehicle dynamics. This is a complex engineering problem, right? Similarly, several such examples, designing a microgrid for a bunch of villages. Again, it's a complex engineering problem. And the microgrid, say, designed for a, say, western part of Maharashtra, say Kolhapur, Sangli, Satara region, may not be suitable for a Vidarbha region, Amravati, Wardha, or Akola region. So, designing a microgrid for Vidarbha region agriculture group of farmers at Vidarbha is a different problem as per and doing it for Western Maharashtra region or doing it for Konkan region are the different problems, and hence because the contexts are different, right? method of solving would be different. And so we must understand this, and we must try to give a flavor of this, practice of this to the students through the assignments, through the case studies. Design solution. These POs can be addressed by putting 2-3 design related courses in the curriculum. For example, typically electronics courses, electronics curriculum used to have, and some at some places it still has, electronic design course, and that used to be at maybe third year level after studying analog electronics, digital electronics, then linear integrated circuit, and then communication, fundamentals of communication, and a power electronic course. They used to have electronic design course or design of PCBs, laboratory. So such multiple design courses, if we put in curriculum, we will be able to address somehow address design solution of complex engineering problem, right? Limited time examination cannot address, right? Students be asked to use the relevant standards, right? And projects and carefully articulated assignments only are the ways to address this PO effectively. As I said, design a 4-bit adder, or design a gate firing circuitry for something, for some SCR, cannot be called as such questions in the paper cannot be related to the PO3, because those are not the complex problems. Conduct investigation. I mean, this needs open-ended experiments, which is too challenging, right? And research method, knowledge of research method is necessary, and this is also very challenging PO to attain. Modern tool usage, definitely at many institutions this is being addressed properly. We can introduce simulation laboratories, we can have simulation tools made available in the department, different platforms, to address this PO at a sufficient level. And then this affective domain, right? So we must plan some inclusion of few special courses. For example, technology and society sort of things, humanity related courses. How impact of engineering innovation on the social, on society, what is the impact, right? So such courses can be introduced, and thanks to this MOOCs technology, several such courses are available, whether it is EDX or Coursera or NPTEL platform. Several such courses are available, and such courses can be introduced. Similarly, at least one course be put on sustainability, technology and society, or technology and environment, that will address this PO somehow. So we must take care in introducing appropriate courses, at least a course on, couple of courses on design, maybe a course on sustainability, environment, then ethics. Just simply putting the course may not address this PO, but we need to have a moral code or an honor code, right? We may introduce a course also. There are different courses, justice, say for example, justice, one course, language and mind, or ethical practices, ethics for engineers. So such courses, small courses can be introduced so that, and also they will be adopted in practice so as to address this PO effectively. So, so individual and teamwork, this can be addressed by planning, by putting more assignments, group projects. I mean, normally at in the engineering curriculum, we have one project at final year. Now at some institutions, uh, maybe it is one more mini project is put. But if we wish to address this PO, individual and teamwork, we should create more and more opportunities for the students to work in teams, to work in cross-domain, multidisciplinary, cross-gender teams, so that we can look at their development, look at their behavioral attitudes properly, and assist and reach and assess, evaluate the attainment, right? So we should put a cautious efforts in articulating the curriculum to put more such platform, which will enable students to work in teams or more semesters, not, and should not be just limited to the last year semesters, right? Same thing for communication. We should very effective, very important behavioral skill required, and communication. So organize. We should ask student to write technical documents, make short presentations periodically, give feedback on presented activities, provide a feedback given on a presented activity, document a feedback, adequate weightage be given to the technical writing of the project report. These are some of the activities by which this PO can be assessed. So the project management and finance, this is typically a course. We can introduce a separate course on project management, right? We can give well orchestrated mini and main project, and we can ask them to plan time and financial resources required. So this is how this soft PO, this can also be attained to some level, right? Lifelong learning, helping students to understand their own learning ways, facilitating students to take responsibility for their own learning. This can be achieved by putting some portion in curriculum for self-study, giving assignment beyond the curriculum, right? Projects of all sort promote to self-learning, practice in professional development activities, extra and co-curricular activities, may put some topic for self-study in every course. At SPIT we had done so. We are aiming at that. We are putting some additional topic for the self-study. Students may be asked to earn few credits through the online platform. This trend has started. Thankfully, AICTE has said that you can earn 20 credits through MOOCs. UGC has increased it now. Right, shortly we will reach a stage where AICTE may permit your 1/3 credit earning through the MOOCs platform, maybe through or any MOOCs platform, and this will enable students to go to this all is promotion of self-learning. And as I spelled earlier, skill of learning is the skill of learning new skill is the only skill required. Let me just take a quick tour. So we have attempted this, looking at this. I mean, at SPIT, we had made an attempt to ensure a development of cognitive domain along with the affective domain, and we have articulated our new curriculum. The salient features we have we constrain ourselves with the 160 credit model of AICTE, and we um, let me take let me take you through quickly through our curriculum details. The curriculum is well balanced in a sense that the ratio of theory and hands-on is almost 50-50. We do have a full semester industry internship, and we have a minor and major certificate, right? And we have an activity-based liberal learning as well as industry floated scope courses in our curriculum. Very interestingly, I will take you through this ABLL. Uh, These are activity based, and it aims at holistic development of all dimensional holistic growth of the learner. This is a sample curriculum where we indicate lecture, theory, practical, other engagement, and total engagement and the credit. So this is how we are targeting at total engagement of students in a semester, in a week. So every week, the 55, almost 55 hours engagement we are expected from the learner. So around 25, 26 will be in the class, and another equal or more than that, 27, 28 in the self-learning. So we call it as a PI model of education, and because we are aiming at development of another domain along with a expertise in a chosen field of study, and this development of another domain may comes through the MOOCs, may come through the minor or scope programs. So we have a program cover of 12 courses, and then we have 6 baskets of elective. So in undergraduate session only, the learner can grow in a domain specialization. For example, with BTech in electronics, one can be grow in vertical in embedded system or VLSI or signal processing. So we have common core of 12 courses, common for computer and IT, common for electronics and telecommunication, right? Then we have open electives. It's like we have special scope certification, and we have very unique way of giving the honors. AICTE spelled out that honors, if you wish to give honor certificate, students should be asked to earn more than 15 to up to 15 to 20 credits. But again, knowing that dilemma of credit definition, already 160 credits we have decided plus 20 would take it back to the 170 credit course. So instead we have innovated our own way in conferring the honors certification. Without going for additional credit, students can still earn the honor certificates. We have started recognizing their performance, their extraordinary performance, and we have introduced a concept of earning the stars. And at the while graduation, if they have earned 12 stars, for example, if someone earns a top grade in all those important core courses, a top grade earns a full star. A, say for our top grade is A, if it earns full star, and next grade earns half star. Or a research publication may earn 2 to 6 stars, or a success in a GATE exam, students will be able to earn stars. So this is how, if the student has earned 12 stars till graduation, we shall confer honors on him. I will just quickly take you through different courses. I say for an open elective, it's okay. But if you see basic science electives, we have started giving importance to the other sciences at higher level. These basic science electives are put in the third year and final year level. So environment and sustainability, right? The course which I spelled out earlier, climate and earth science. So this is how we are trying to address those two POs. That PO which deals with the climate, which deals with the society, environment, and sustainability. Then then we have in humanities, you look, see, we have put law, finance, psychology, economics, history, languages. Again, courses like film appreciation, ecology and society, justice, human behavior, universal values, energy economy, policy, political ideologies, so and so, several others. I mean, these courses we strongly believe will take care of that affective domain, will at least address that affective domain and development of behavioral skills and attitudinal skills, and those can be taken through MOOCs. Then we have another open elective at the final year where we are talking about organizational behavior, leadership, innovation, entrepreneurship, project management, finance for engineers. So this will take, we envisage that this will take care of project and finance management, leadership and teamwork, and so on and so forth, right? And this is our very unique set of courses. These are activity based courses, so every semester student will earn 1 credit by performing few activities. And just look at these activities, how diverse these activities are: studying some book, studying some national policy, studying some words problem, or working in a camps, medical camps, or NCC participation. So through activities, student can earn the credit, or participating in some education related activity, for example, mentoring in school children, Teach for India, but such activity, right? So through different activities students can earn the credits. So philosophy, see, look here, study of life management, study of great personalities of India, right? Even doing a physical exercise, students will earn 1 credit per semester through these activities. So this is what we feel, this aggressive inclusion of an activity based learning in the curriculum will uh, definitely add to the behavioral development of behavioral skills and attitudinal skills of a student, and will have a better implementation of OBE. Friends, OBE, as I said, and at my earlier initial remark, at at the beginning, somewhere in 9th, 10th, we were confused about OB. 10 years down the line, I feel we are learning as a society. We are becoming more and more mature towards outcome-based education. My perception today is that OB targets holistic development. The message of OB and NEP is same. OB is a beautiful philosophy. Say what you do what you say. Be honest in doing and saying. It's a because no one is perfect. I set myself some level, some targets. I honestly pursue those targets. I identify my gaps. I improve upon those. When I go closer to the target, I set a new target for me. This is how it is a quality assurance process. It's not ranking, it's a journey, it's not destination. It's not a ritual. Let us not get lost with those matrices of COs and POs and those figures of 1, 2, 3 and 2.2, attend this PO, this much attend, this PO, that much attend. It is a religious practice to make our profession joyful, Because I have set some target, and if I am attaining it, naturally joy comes. It is a joyous process. So it is not a ritual, it is a religion. We all have a duty to convert to make it a religious practice rather than a ritual process. And we as a teacher are kingpin in this OBE implementation. I have these two couple of photos here. Look at the left hand side, right? There is a customer, and the tailor is has stitched a shirt for the customer. And look at the right hand side image. There is no customer, and there is a shirt, and we are looking for and we are waiting for. I mean, is waiting. The tailor is waiting for a customer. I honestly feel we should look at the left hand side picture. We should look at our target and put appropriate shirt as per as curriculum design is concerned. We should look at our target and then put our curriculum in place, rather than having a curriculum and then putting and trying to look at its targets and all. Presently, OB is implemented like right hand in many places of the country. University has made some curriculum. Then we are trying to trying to find out purpose and outcome of that curriculum. And this left hand side is possible if you are autonomous. Thankfully, country is encouraging autonomy, and more colleges are coming up forward. When we started at College of Engineering Pune, it was the first. We were the first in Maharashtra to become autonomous way back in 2003. Today, I am very happy that this figure has reached almost 28 today, from 3 to 28. Sure, few years down the line, by 2025, I am expecting around 40 engineering colleges becoming autonomous, and at least those colleges will have will have a freedom to implement OB in their perception. These are few photographs of a sports shoes. The first shoe is used for walking. The second shoe is used for tennis and playing badminton. The third shoe is used for marathon. This see here, marathon. The fourth shoe is for trekking, and the fifth shoe is for the purpose. Is for the formal, for offices and for formal wear. So in sports shoes itself, there are several categories from the same manufacturer. I mean, in the same category, there are different variants of the design because the purposes are different. I will end saying that in our curriculum also, though the program mapping, electrical engineering program appears same, but there could be different variants of the program, looking at the purpose, looking at for which I am making this program, right? So you set your program education objectives and then design your product, then design your curriculum for that. This is the message I wish to give. Every shoe, I mean, all are category under the category of sports shoes, but every design is different. Similarly, though the program titles may be same, but every curriculum may have a different flavor, may have a different design, because the purpose is different. We must look at purpose in designing the curriculum for true implementation of OBE. With this, I stop here. I shall be happy to address your queries.
Yes, sir. Dear participants, any questions from your side?
Sir, I have a small query. I mean, please correct me. As you said, now it is a time to revise program outcomes, considering the specialization of a course. So, do you mean, sir, we need not require PSOs in that case?
No, PSOs we have started. In ABET, there is no PSO. It is only our inability to look at the attainment of POs. We have made this shortcut of see. I spelled out that the meaningful OB will demand the attainment of POs because it is the customer rating you, industry rating you, right? And actually going back and seeing what your people are, what your graduates are doing after 4 or 5 years. Now PSO is at institute level. After at the time of graduation, you are talking about attainment of PSO. So what is your question?
Sir, as you said, sir, POs now will may be revised to take care of specialization of the program. I mean,
Pardon, please.
sir, revised POs, which are referred to as student learning, they will consider specialization of the program.
This student, no, it is also generic.
Okay.
The revised ABET has revised, and instead of POs, they are saying a student outcome, and that student outcome is same for all programs. I mean, those are common expectation of ABET from all graduates, engineering graduates.
Yes, sir.
But we can give our flavor to that. If you are talking in a specific program, one we have to just see that those things are covered, but still has a branch specific flavor.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions?
Sir, I think Dean Student Affairs, Dr. Rita Das Madam is there in the participants list. So, if I can request her. Okay, sir. Madam was there in the morning lecture also.
Achha, huh.
Yes, sir.
So the session was really very good, sir. All the participants liked your session.
Yeah. Feel free to ask if not now. If
so can I conclude the session, sir?
If any time, so see, let me give a message. bnc@spit.ac.in. I'm sending my email to all. So if you have any time, any query related, please write. I will try to share my perception. See, this OB, I mean, I have just shared with you my understanding and my perception. That's all.
Yes, sir. So you have explained it in a very simple way, sir, which is really understandable. So I would like to take this opportunity, sir, on behalf of the organizing committee and the participants. Sir, I thank you for giving such an enlightening session on understanding the importance of vision and mission. And sir, as you truly said that vision with action can bring the change in the world. Sir, we also thank you for enlightening us with understanding of what is program educational objective from various renowned institutes, universities, program outcomes of various branches, and how to address those program outcomes. And sir, as you said, program outcomes should have flavor of that specific program. I am sure all the participants will follow this and bring a change. So thank you for your explaining or your observation on curriculum design. This will really help each one of us to design a better curriculum. And so lastly, we thank you for sharing with us what a 21st century engineer or learner needs to excel in this world. So this all things will really help us to grow together. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sakina. Thank you, Prashant, for
Thank you so
giving
much,
me
sir.
this
Thank you so
chance.
much. We are fortunate to have you with us. We will be
No,
able
no,
to
thank
talk
you
to
for
you.
giving me this
Yes.
opportunity.
No, thank you so much, sir. We are obliged, sir.
Thank you. Welcome. So am I.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Uh,
The afternoon
I have a
session
yes.
yes, sir.
I have a small announcement to be made, madam. Wait for a
Yes,
while.
sir, yes. Yes, sir, yes.